some support to you from Dayton, Amelia, which is really nice, isn't it? I know how you feel. I understand. So, okay. Do you struggle to learn all about the rules of roundabouts and when to signal and where to signal? I'm going to cover that right now in my roundabouts rules lesson. Let's start with a theory test question. Here's a typical theory test question. So what signal should you give when going straight ahead at a roundabout? A, don't signal at any time. B, signal right when approaching the roundabout, then left before leaving. C, signal right when approaching the roundabout and keep the right signal on. Or D, signal left before leaving the roundabout. Is the answer A, B, C, D, or you need to put IDK if you don't know the answer. I need to know what you know, and I need to know what you don't know. So if you don't know the answer, put IDK in the comments. Keep putting your answers in. Let me know. IDK if you don't know. Let me know what you think. If you're having a guess, you could put a question mark after the answer. Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, let's get started with this roundabouts lesson. And in a few minutes, you're going to find signalling at roundabouts so easy because it is really, really easy to learn, I promise you. So first of all, let's have a think. Why do you even need to signal at a roundabout? Why do we need to signal at a roundabout? Lets people know when you're going to get off. It does. Lets people know hello, and Aisha, lets people know your intentions. Brilliant. To let other drivers know when you're about to get off. Brilliant. Yeah, so therefore, when you're going to drive around a roundabout, there are two separate signals to know about. This is really important because people are forgetting there are two separate signals. So everybody put 2 in the comments if you're with me. Just say, yeah, there are 2 signals I need to know about. Put 2 in the comments. There are 2 separate signals that you need to know about. You need to know about the first signal when you're driving towards a roundabout. What signal am I going to give when I'm driving towards a roundabout? And number 2, what signal am I going to give when I'm leaving the roundabout? That's 2 signals, isn't it? Yeah, do you agree that's 2? When you're driving towards a roundabout, I'll put a yellow car here. You need to let people know, am I going to go left? Am I going to go straight ahead? Am I going to go right? And when you're driving around the roundabout, you need to tell people that you're going to come off the roundabout. So that is 2 separate signals. Let's talk about signal number 1 first. So let's come away from roundabouts for a second. Let's come away from roundabouts and just talk about this crossroads junction. If you were driving towards this crossroads in this green car and you were going to turn left, what signal would you give? You're in the green car and you're going to turn left. What signal would you give? How would you indicate to tell people I'm turning left? Keep putting your answers in. The more you join in, the more you interact, the more you'll remember this and learn this forever. So yeah, absolutely. You would indicate left. If you were going to turn left into this junction here, you'd indicate left. Brilliant. What about if you were going to turn right? If you were in this right-hand lane and you were going to turn right, what signal would you give? How would you tell people I'm going right? You tell people, obviously, by signalling right, wouldn't you? Brilliant. So if you were going left, you signal left. If you were going right, you'd signal right. Obvious. What about if you were going to go straight ahead? You'd be in the left-hand lane for going straight ahead, but what signal would you give? How would you tell people that you're going to go straight ahead? How would you tell people I'm going to go straight on? I'm not turning left, I'm not turning right, I'm going straight on. what signal would you give? You wouldn't signal. Okay, so if you're not going to signal, if you're not going to bother signalling, how are people going to know which way you're going? If you're not going to bother signalling, how will they know where you're going? That seems crazy, not letting people know. How are they going to know where you're going? How are they going to know where you're going? If automatically they should know. They should know. Automatically they should know, because not signalling means I'm not turning. If you agree with that, double tap the screen, put yes in the comments. If you agree with not signalling means I'm not turning, then just put yes in the comments and double tap the screen. Brilliant. What about this car here? Look at this yellow car. This yellow car, the driver is not signalling. So where do you think the car is going? Is it going to turn into here? Is it going to turn right? Or is it going to go straight on if it's not signalling? If it's not signalling, it's going C. It's going straight ahead. No signal means I'm going straight ahead. What about if you're driving on a curvy road though? What about if you're driving on a twisty road? This car now is going to go round to the left. This road goes round to the left, and then the road goes round to the right. Are you going to signal left and then right if you want to end up at this house here? Are you going to signal left and then right? No, because no signal means I'm going straight on, even on a twisty road. If you were signalling left, let's put a red signal on here. Let's draw the car indicating left. Where would people think this car was going? Straight on in this junction here, or straight on? Where would people think this car is going? It's a continuous road. It is, absolutely. If you were signalling left now, you're telling people you're going into this road. And that would be a misleading signal. So do you agree? No signal means I'm going straight on, even on a curvy, twisty road. Do you agree? No signal means I'm going straight on, even if on a roundabout you would go left and then you go round to the right. Yes, I agree. Awesome. So if you're going at a roundabout and you're going left, you're going to signal left. If you were going right, you'd be in the right-hand lane and you would signal right on the approach. If you're going straight ahead, you do not signal as you're driving towards a roundabout, because there's no signal that says I'm going straight ahead. As you're driving towards the roundabout, you don't signal. If that makes sense, double tap the screen. If that makes sense, put yes in the comments. Let me know. That's signal number 1. We've still got to talk about signal number 2. But signal number 1 is no signal means I'm going straight ahead. Is this lesson helping you? And what have you learned so far? Have you learned anything so far? This is just one lesson that's in Theory Test course. My course has got worksheets that you can fill in if you want to, while you're watching the video tutorials, while you're listening to the fact lists. And it's got all the licensed practice questions and case studies. There's mock tests, there's games to play. There's even test anxiety techniques, hazard perception techniques, answering question techniques. Everything you need to be 100% prepared to pass. If you click on the link, user 9917, you'll also see a link that takes you to ADI Part 1 course. So I have a course for learner drivers and a course for ADIs if you click on this link. And the theory course, the car theory course, is only $39.95, which means it's about the same price as one single driving lesson. If you think you're learning, if you know that you're learning, and answering questions about roundabouts is now going to be that bit easier, then sign up for the course. Go all the way through it. It's really, really easy. So we've talked about signal number 1, haven't we? Can everybody now share the live? If you share the live, then more people will join, and I can talk about signal number 2 to more and more people. So share this live with people, guys. Awesome. Let's talk about signal number 2. Signal number 2 is a signal that you give when you're leaving the roundabout. We've already said, if you're driving towards the roundabout, if you're going left, you'll signal left. If you're going right, you'll signal right. If you're going straight ahead, you do not signal. Signal number 2 is what signal you give when you're already driving around the roundabout and you want to come off the roundabout. What signal are you going to give when you're leaving the roundabout? Now, when you're driving along with your driving instructor, do you always signal to go into a new road? Yes or no? Do we always signal to go into a new road? Yes, of course we do. If you're going into a new road, you always signal. Brilliant. Second question. If you're going down here, or going up here, or going across here, are these new roads? If you're on a roundabout, is this a new road, or this one, or this one? Put yes in the comments if you think they are new roads. They are new roads. That means we always signal to leave a roundabout because we're going into a new road. If that makes sense, pop me in the comments. Yes, I know that now, Annie. I will always signal to leave a roundabout because when I'm leaving a roundabout, I'm going into a new road and I need to tell people what I'm doing. It's really important other people know what I'm doing. Awesome. Looking at this picture here, if this driver was signalling now, where do you think they'd be going? Down road number 1 or down road number 2? Where is this driver going if they're signalling now? Down here or down here? So you're all saying the driver is going down road number 1, down the first road. Absolutely. So if the driver wants to go down the second road, they should not signal here because people will think they're going down here. That would be dangerous. Anybody wanted to come out of road number 1 would drive out in front of them and there could be a collision. So timing your signal is really, really important. Do you agree? Put yes in the comments if you agree. It's really important to time your signal really, really well. Otherwise, you're giving a misleading signal. If this driver is signalling now, but going down road number 2, that's really misleading. You need to signal as early as you can without being misleading. So what you would do if you were going down road number 2 is you'd start signalling as you go past road number 1. If you were going down road 2, start signalling as you're passing road 1. Does that make sense? Put me in the comments if that makes sense. Signal as early as you can. Don't leave it until you're here or you're here. Signal as early as you can. So there is exactly the same on a roundabout. You always signal to exit a roundabout. You're always going to signal left to exit a roundabout. All the roads that you pass are on the left. But when do you signal? Not too early, not too late. You signal as you pass the exit before the one you want to take. Quite a long sentence, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Signal as you pass the exit before the one you're going to go down. So looking at this image here, when would you start to signal left if you were going down exit 2? If you were going to go straight ahead, when would you start to signal left? Number 2, number 3, or number 4? Brilliant answers. You signal as early as you can without being misleading. And I would say that 4's getting a bit late. If you don't start to signal until you're here, you're not giving this person very much opportunity to react to your signal. If you're coming off, that means this person can come on, and you need to let them know as early as you can. So you start to signal here. As you're passing exit 1, you start to signal to go down exit 2. So to recap, if you're in this yellow car, you're going to go left, you'll signal left. If you're going to go right, you'll signal right. If you're going to go straight ahead, what signal do you give? Let's have a quick recap before we move back onto the question, because this is really, really simple, basic stuff, guys. It's just the same as any other junction. If you're going to go straight ahead at any road, you don't signal. You don't signal to go straight ahead. Brilliant. So you're here and you're not signaling. What do you get? As you get here, you'll start to signal left to tell people I'm coming off the roundabout. So you always signal left as you pass the exit before the one you want to take. And you don't signal on the approach if you're going straight ahead. The 2 rules you need to know, which are the same rules for any road, aren't they? So how many signals have I taught you? We've just learned all about roundabouts. How many signals have I said that you really, really need to know? It's really important that you remember. Brilliant. There are 2 separate signals. Awesome. There are 2 separate signals. One when you're driving towards the roundabout, and one when you're leaving the roundabout. And you always signal to leave a roundabout. If you always signal to leave a roundabout, which one of these is rubbish? One of these must be a rubbish answer. If you always signal to leave a roundabout, which one of these is a rubbish answer? Brilliant. A, don't signal at any time. That's rubbish, isn't it? Because we always signal to leave a roundabout. What about a signal right when we're approaching the roundabout? Do you ever signal right to tell people I'm going straight ahead? Do you ever do that? Yes or no? Do you ever signal right to tell people I'm going straight? Of course not. No, that would be crazy. Signal right when approaching the roundabout, then left before leaving. We do signal left before leaving, but we would never signal right unless we were going right. Why would you do that? So what's the right answer? You now know it, don't you? You know the right answer. It's easy. Can everybody now put the right answer in so I know that you know? Yay, awesome. The answer is signal left before leaving the roundabout. That's my roundabout rules lessons. Has it helped you? Can you now see how signalling at roundabouts is really, really easy? Signalling at roundabouts is exactly the same as signalling on any road. You always signal to go into a new road, don't you? And you never signal to tell people I'm going straight ahead, do you? Never. Why would you signal left or right if you were going straight ahead? That would be misleading. That could be dangerous. I'm covering this lesson because there's almost 2 million people taking theory tests every year. And the pass rate is really, really low. Who here has taken a test and failed? Let me know. Just put me in the comments if you want to. You're not on your own. The pass rate is only 45.5%. So you're not on your own. 55.5% of people are failing their theory test. And people are failing once, twice, 5, 10, 15, 20 plus times. Even 30 plus times I've known people to fail. And failing, it gets embarrassing for some people. It gets frustrating for a lot of people. And it's definitely a waste of money for everybody. If you find it embarrassing, pop an E in the comments. Embarrassing to tell your family and your friends and your driving instructor, I've failed again. Or it's just frustrating. It's like somebody told me to do all that work in that app, and I did all the work in the app and I still failed. That's so frustrating. Who here has failed by 1 or 2 marks? How frustrating is that? Well, now you know all about roundabouts. You know that you can pass. You can answer questions about roundabouts. And it's such a waste of money. Do you know how much money is it going to cost if you fail once? Do you know? How much is it going to cost you to take your theory test if you fail just once, even just one fail? Well, every time you take your test, it's going to be £46. Brilliant. Every time you take your test, you're going to spend another £23. So failing once means you have to book it and pay for it twice. So one fail is going to be £46. It's not worth it. Pass on your first attempt. You can do that. There's all kinds of reasons why people fail, you know. Put me in the comments if English is not your first language, for example. Put me in the comments if English is not your first language. Put me in the comments if you don't have any motivation to study. Sitting down and studying on your own is just not something that you are able to do without any guidance. Or put me in the comments if you suffer from test nerves. And when you go to your test, you just got brain fog. Everything goes out of your head. You just can't think straight. Or you have dyslexia, or dyspraxia, or ADHD. Or you have learning difficulties. You don't like reading. You can't read. You didn't think you really needed to study. So many people pass. They scrape a pass, but it's still a pass. And they've hardly done any work at all. Put D in the comments if you are ready to take your driving test and you can't even book it because you can't pass your theory test. Put D in for driving in the comments if that's you. What I want to do is teach you to pass your theory test, and that's why I do these lives. I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday giving you free theory lessons to teach you to pass your theory test. But I only share bits and pieces of what you need, of course. What I've done is I've spent years and years and years finding out what you struggle with and why you're struggling. And I've spent thousands of hours designing techniques, explanations, lessons, even silly little rhymes and songs to help you to pass your theory test. And I put it all into Theory Test Course. So I put together worksheets that you can print off or just read on your phone if you want to, and you can answer the questions while you're watching the video tutorials. There's facts lists that you can listen to. There are all the licensed practice questions, the most up-to-date questions you're guaranteed to have. There are case studies. There's topic mock tests, full mock tests, games to play. There's even test anxiety techniques, hazard perception techniques, techniques for answering questions. So if you go through the course, you'll be 100% prepared to pass your theory test. To date, I'm really, really proud. It's had 19,476 passes so far. Do you want to make it 19,477? The price is only the same as one single driving lesson. Let me show you what's in the course. See how to go through the course. For all 14 theory topics, there's a worksheet that you can fill in if you want to. Watch all video tutorials, then listen to the list of facts. Listening to the facts list while you're doing other stuff, like going to the gym or cooking, means that you can use different times to learn, and that you can learn without even trying to learn. Just like when you listen to the words of a song, and you learned the words without even trying. Then go through all the practice questions. When you get all the questions correct, have a go at the topic mock test. And when you get 10 out of 10 in the topic mock test, move on to the next topic. Going through all theory topics in the same way will make case studies questions simple to answer. The 16 mock tests in the course are designed to cover every single practice question. And the course has got techniques for answering questions, techniques for doing hazard perception, and techniques for getting rid of test anxiety. Does anybody here suffer with test anxiety? Or do you know anybody who suffers from test anxiety? And tell me, how did that anxiety feel? What did you feel when you got that anxiety? Nervous, yeah. How did that feel in your body? How do those nerves feel? Do you get butterflies in your tummy? Is your heart pounding? Is your palms sweaty? You feel like your mind's gone blank. You can't think. Everything you knew is just flown out of your head, and you can't even focus your eyes on the questions. I get brain fog, exactly. My mind goes blank. I feel so stressed. Heart's pounding, blank mind. Absolutely. Well, what I did is I realised people were failing because of anxiety. And so I became a therapist. I've spent months and months and months becoming an NLP master practitioner and a master practitioner of hypnosis as well. And I've put techniques into my course so you can go to your test feeling calm, feeling confident, feeling relaxed, feeling happy, feeling however you want to feel. You won't have a horrible mind. You won't have difficulty breathing. You will feel calm and relaxed. The awesome thing is, if you go through these techniques, you will not fail through anxiety. Go through the techniques in my course. They really, really work. Does anybody here struggle with the hazard perception part of the test? Who here struggles with the hazard perception part of the test, knowing when to click, where to click, how to click? Know exactly what they're looking for. Why are you even doing this test? Well, I've created something I've called the 3-click trick and 3 no-nos, and they are in this course, techniques to help you to score well. You know exactly what you're looking for. Not only that, I'll tell you exactly when to click to score well. You won't fail the hazard perception part of the test if you go through it. I've even had somebody who scored 100% in the hazard perception test using my 3-click trick. And I've also created a 5-step question technique. Does anybody here ever second guess themselves? You know, when you're answering theory test questions and you think that's the answer, then you go back to it and go, no, I must be wrong. I'll change it to that answer. And then you find you've changed it to the wrong answer. And you were right in the first place. You were right originally. Whoever does that, not trusting yourself. If you answer questions using my 5-step question technique, that won't happen. That won't happen. You will learn to trust yourself. So you can use it with the easy questions and with the hard questions as well. And if you sign up for the course while I'm live, you're going to get free bonuses. You're going to get a hazard perception course. So as well as the tech tips in my course, you're going to get my whole course, an extra course all about hazard perception. You're going to get my hypnosis course as well. I said before, I'm a hypnotherapist. And I've recorded 3 tracks, one for theory test confidence, one for driving test confidence, and one for driving confidence. So these 3 tracks you've got for life. They're going to help you with your theory test, help you with your driving test, and then help you when you become a driver on your own on the roads as well. Who here would listen to hypnosis? Would you listen to the tracks that I've recorded? Just put yes or no. It'd be really interesting for me to see. And don't worry if it's no, it doesn't matter. You would also, and you would also. I used your trick to pass hazard perception. Yay! Awesome! Awesome, Oliver Kohler. That's amazing. I've pinned that comment already. Someone's pinned it already. So if you want to be just like Oliver Kohler and pass your hazard perception using my 3-click trick, sign up for my course. I'm also going to give you 2 free ebooks as well. So if you sign up while I'm live, you're going to get just under £40 worth of bonuses. My 2 free courses, 2 free ebooks, they are worth just under £40. You'll only pay once. You'll only pay once for the course and you've got it for a lifetime. Lifetime access for one payment. So when the theory test is updated, you can go back to the course. When the highway code is updated, you can look at the course and find out what the changes to the highway code are. When you're going to do your driving test, you can look at the course to remind yourself about the rules of roundabouts. When you're going to drive on a motorway for the first time on your own, you can go back into the course and have a look at the motorways and smart motorways section. What I do promise you is that as soon as you sign up, you'll get a link. You get an email with a link to go into the course. Go to the beginning of the course, start going through it step by step, and you will very, very quickly see and hear how you're going to pass. You'll very quickly feel confident about passing. Who here has used the course or is using theory test course? Just put me in the comments. Have you used it or are you using it? To sign up, all you need to do is click on the link or go to the link in my bio. Click on the link that I've pinned or go to the link in my bio and it's all there. Yeah, lots and lots of people here saying me. I'm using your course. This person said, I had my theory test today and I passed. Thanks to your lives and theory test course, I do not regret purchasing it one bit, as English is my second language. Thank you so much. Fancy English not even being your first language, but you pass on your first attempt. Isn't that awesome? Now, if you click on this link, you'll see there are 3 courses. The top one is theory test course. If you're wanting to pass your theory test, that's what you need. The top one that says theory test course. If you've already passed your theory test, you want driving test course. And if you're a driving instructor, you're training to be a driving instructor, you want the 3rd course down, which is ADI course. This person said, hey Annie, hi Annie, I bought your course and in just a few days, this person only used it for a few days, passed my theory for the first time. I had problems with my steering, but because of your tip, it was like magic. I got great at it. So the course will help you with your theory test, but it's also going to help you with your driving, because this is the theory of driving, isn't it? Thank you so much for your hard work. This person used the course for a few weeks, not a few days. So how long you use the course for is entirely up to you. A few days, a few weeks, a few months, it's entirely up to you. This person says, I would like to say a thank you for your amazing course. After a few weeks practicing with your course, today I passed first time. Isn't that amazing? When you sign up for the course, you'll get an email. The email will give you a link and you go and click on the link and you'll start the link straight away. You can start it in 5 minutes today if you want to. Click on the link. You'll get an email immediately. go to the email, go into the course and start your online course straight away. Have you got any questions for me? Let me know what questions you've got. How different are the actual test questions? The test questions are different, Lauren. What people are focusing on is downloading an app and memorizing the answers to theory test questions. What you should be doing is doing the learning first of all. Your course is awesome. Thank you so much. You need to do the learning. Who here would think it was normal to go into a classroom to study psychology and the teacher says, do a mock test? On your very first lesson, you sit down at a desk and you do a mock test. Would that be normal? Oh, Aisha, amazing, amazing. Your course came through. Would it be normal to sit down on your very first lesson and do a mock test? Let me know if that's normal or not. To me, no, absolutely, that's not normal at all. But that's what you're doing for the theory test. You're downloading apps and you're just looking at questions and answers, or you're just doing mock tests. That's not normal. You cannot learn all about the rules of roundabouts by answering a question about roundabouts. You don't learn all the rules of box junctions by memorizing the answer to a question about box junctions. Memorizing the answer is A and the answer is C and the answer is B. That doesn't teach you all about the subject. You should be learning about the subject, and the way you can do that is either getting the books. All the books are based on these three questions. All the questions are based on these three books. This book, Driving the Essential Skills. The questions come out of here. The questions come out of Know Your Traffic Signs. And the questions come out of the official highway code. That's where all the questions come from. So you can buy those books and read them and then go through questions. Or you can look at questions and think, I don't understand that properly. I'll read up about it. Or you can go through my course. My course gives you all of the information in short video tutorials and facts lists. And it only costs the same price as a driving lesson. That's all it is, the same price as one single 1 hour or 1.5 hour driving lesson. But you don't get the course for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. You get the course for a lifetime. You get a lifetime's access. Let me show you how easy it is to learn stuff. Who knows the answer to this question? Which light or lights show before green? Do you know the answer to this question? Put the answer or IDK if you don't know the answer. Because if I see that everybody knows, then I will move on to another question. I need to know what you don't know. I need to know whether this is going to help you or not. This is a very small part of what's in my course. I'm showing you how easy it is to learn stuff now. You need to learn before you answer questions. And to answer questions like this one, you need to know the traffic light sequence, don't you? Who here knows the sequence? I can see that a lot of people don't, because there's a lot of wrong answers coming in. Let me know. Do you know the sequence? Pop yes or no in the comments for me. Do you know the sequence? Put yes or no in the comments. Yes, I know it. No, I don't know it. We don't have orange, by the way, we have amber. If the theory test people refer to this colour as amber, it's a really good idea for you to refer to it as amber. You don't have to. It's entirely up to you what you call it. But it's a good idea, isn't it? It's a good idea to call it amber. So the sequence is really, really easy to learn. If you want me to sing my traffic light song, to do my traffic light song, and to help you to learn the sequence, then double tap the screen. Let me get to at least 25,000 likes. Let's do 1 minute of tapping the screen. Let me get to at least 25,000 lights and I will go through the traffic light sequence. I'll show you how it goes to red on its own. Just red shows on its own. And then red and amber, they show together. And then it's green. Green is on its own. And then it goes back up to amber on its own. And then back up to red where it started. So I'll do my traffic light song as soon as I get to 25,000 likes. So double tap the screen, guys. Let me know you really, really, really want to learn this and you want to know it, because I'm going to make it easy. You don't need to struggle. And memorizing an answer to a question, memorizing the answer to this question, whether it's A or B or C or D, does not teach you the sequence. And in your real theory test, you might get a different question. It might say which light or lights show after green or before red or after red or before red and amber or after red and amber. You're not going to necessarily get the same questions. So you need to understand the sequence. Does that make sense? Double tap the screen. Let me get this sequence said for you. I will say it, then you'll say it with me. And you see how super, super easy it is. So the sequence of traffic lights is really, really easy. Who agrees with me that children, little tiny children, can learn nursery rhymes? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. 3-year-olds can learn that. They don't learn what word comes after Dumpty. That's not how they learn it. They learn it by going through a rhyme. That's what I'm going to do with you now. Might be a bit silly, but why would that matter? The sequence is easy. It goes red, red and amber, green, amber, red. Say it out loud. It stays in your head. Let's do it again. Say it with me. You can read the words. The sequence goes red, red and amber, green, amber, red. Say it out loud. It stays in your head. That's why children can learn the whole Humpty Dumpty song, because they're saying it out loud. They're not just listening while they're doing something else. They are saying the words out loud. If you say the words out loud, they're much more likely to stay in your head forever. So join in with me. And when you've joined in, put D for done in the comments. Are you ready? So join in. The sequence goes red, red and amber, green, amber, red. Say it out loud. It stays in your head. Red, red and amber, green, amber, red. Say it out loud. It stays in your head. It's really, really easy. That is a fun way of understanding, a fun way of learning, a fun way of being able to answer any theory test question that's asking you about the sequence of traffic lights. Done, 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 done. Awesome. So now you know which light or lights show before green. Just go through the rhyme in your head. Da, 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 da. Say it out loud. It stayed in your head. Red, red and amber, green, amber, red. You said it out loud. It stayed in your head. What comes before green? Just put the initials in if you want to. What shows before green? You know the answer. Before green, guys. Think about it. Really think about it. It's red, red and amber, green, amber, red. What comes before green? You know before green is red and amber. Awesome. Red, red and amber, green. So first of all, make sure you read the question properly. Before green, not after. And secondly, go through the rhyme in your head. Remember the rhyme and take your time. Remember the rhyme and take your time. Go through it in your head. If you now know the answer to any question about traffic lights and the sequence, double tap the screen. Red, red and amber, green, amber, red. Say it out loud. It stays in your head. Let me ask you another question. What light shows after amber? We call amber steady amber as well. What comes after amber? What comes after amber? Brilliant. It's red. Awesome. Red comes after amber. What comes before amber? What light shows before amber? You know the answer. All you've got to do is remember the rhyme. Take your time. It's green. Brilliant. Awesome. Don't forget, guys, you can follow me on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook and YouTube, Pinterest and Snapchat. I'm always called Theory Test Practice. I'm live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday on TikTok. I'm here to help making theory easy for you, and I hope I've really helped. For a minute, let me just note something down.